Welcome into the Extra Point presented by Corner Pub in Brentwood on 710 Old Hooker Boulevard. For Nashville's best meat and threes, craft beers, and more, the neighborhood meets at the corner. And Zach, Antonio Callaway is at it again. The Florida junior wide receiver is being suspended with 6 other teammates for the first game against the Michigan Wolverines. I think there's no way Jim McElwain should keep him on the team for what he's done in the past, but get us up to date on what they're up to now.
Yeah, the latest actions, McElwain suspended 7 Florida players for improper charges on student ID cards in which they turned around, bought stuff with their student ID cards, and sold them for cash. Hey, it's tough life being a college student not getting paid, right?
And then they claimed their student ID cards were stolen, and so they didn't do that in the first place.
It's not a good look. Not a good look at all. But the Michigan game is a big, major game, and I think that it holds weight, more weight than any other game. That's why McElwain said, look, that's going to be the punishment. You're going to miss the season opener. This is the first time Florida's played anybody worth a damn for their first game of the season in a very long time.
Yeah, and
it's usually like Florida Atlantic.
And they're not playing in the state of Florida, which is also rare too. But if Antonio Callaway was a normal student at Florida, he would be suspended for at least a semester, if not just kicked out of school in general. So I don't think there's any way that Jim McElwain should keep him on the team. Yeah, he's the best wide receiver they have on the roster, but he's also been cited for marijuana, where he had 7 grams of weed in a car with a 40-year-old dude this past May and paid a $300 fine. Then in December 2015 was accused of sexual assault, where he was quoted saying that he was high on marijuana during the incident and, quote, so stoned I had no interest in having sex with anyone, end quote.
That's a hell of an excuse.
Antonio Callaway is an idiot. He's a fraud. He's out there somehow still playing college football, and this is actually the first time he's been suspended and is going to miss a game against Michigan. I think it's ridiculous.
So what does this say about Jim McElwain? Should he be held to the standard? Because usually when something happens, let's say in Tuscaloosa with Alabama, it's all handled internally.
Right.
Cam Robinson was a huge story last season. What makes that different than this?
Well, Jim McElwain, I think, is desperate to win and desperate to keep winning.
What do you think Alabama's desperate to win? They have to win.
Absolutely. They absolutely have to win, but Michigan doesn't matter for Florida winning the SEC East because it's not a conference game. You know, it does matter the third week of the season against Tennessee. That game definitely matters because it's the first game of the SEC season for Florida. So when it comes to Alabama, that first game against USC last year, that mattered. The first game against Florida State this year, that matters because Alabama's trying to win a national championship. Jim McElwain just has to keep winning the East because he's the only coach who's done that in his first 2 years as an SEC head coach.
I think that Floridians, fans of the Gators, they think that they can win a national championship, and it starts with beating Michigan.
I don't think they had a chance to beat Michigan in the first place, even with Antonio Callaway and these 6 other goons.
Well, they're not going to be the goon squad's not going to be there because no dice game 1.
And that's today's Extra Point presented by Corner Pub in Brentwood on A to Z Sports Nashville.com.